Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm sharing how to make corn moi moi, which we call Ukpo Oka in my local dialect. Fresh corn is about to be in season, so you want to watch this recipe. Now let's get started. So for the list of ingredients, you need fresh corn, and because of where I am, the kind of corn we find here are very soft and kind of sweet. So because of that, I'm going to add some cornmeal. I'm using the regular corn we use for pap, but if you can't find this, you can use cornmeal, which is this. Just go to the store and ask for cornmeal and you'll find it. Next, you need some bell pepper, onions, and some Scotch bonnet pepper. You will also need some crafish. This is the big dried shrimp. We call this one ishopotopo. Yeah, so you're going to need that. Very important, don't skip it. You will also need some crayfish. Yeah, let me tell you, if you don't take anything out of this video, just don't manage your crayfish with this recipe. I'm also going to be using some seasoning cubes and some palm oil. So to begin, I'm going to peel the corn. These are fresh corn that I just bought from the store. This meal is best with fresh corn. So I'm going to peel it now and then take out the corn from the comb. So to do that, I'm going to run a knife through it just like this. This is the fastest way for me to do this, but then you can go in line by line and get it out as well. That method is very neat, but then Oyada will not allow us. Scatter will not allow us. So I just go through the fastest route and get it done. If this is your first time here, thank you so much. Please click on that red subscribe button. It's somewhere down to your right that says subscribe, and then hit the bell that says all notifications so you'll be the first to know when I upload a new video, and it is free of charge. Thank you. So moving on, I'm going to take out the head from the big crayfish. You don't want any accident when you are enjoying this meal. So what I do is I take out the head and blend it together with the smaller crayfish. Next, I'll deseed and blend the bell peppers, the onion, the Scotch bonnet pepper, and the crayfish all together. And when blending, I'm not going to blend them to be very smooth. I'm just going to blend it so it is coarse and you can still see tiny specks of pepper in it. So with the pause button, I went in 1, 2, 3, 4 times and it was perfect. This is the texture you want it to be. So once I achieve that, I'll set it aside. Next, I'll grind the corn with a dry mill. If you're using our regular Nigerian corn, you don't need to use this, so you're going to skip this step. But because our corn here is very soft, this corn or the dry mill you're going to use will kind of help give it some weight. That's the word. And one thing I did was not blend it completely smooth. You can still see tiny specks of corn in there. Yeah, that was very deliberate. So I'm going to do that and set it aside as well. Next, I'm going to wash the corn to get rid of those small hair, even though I was almost unsuccessful with that. But yeah, I just washed the corn. Then I'll leave it in the sieve so you can drain out any excess water. I was very careful with the amount of water I used for this recipe because remember, this corn is already very soft, so I wanted to be in control of the amount of water I added to this Ukpo Oka so that we don't end up with a watery batter. Yeah, so I let it drain. If you have a food processor, that's going to be best for this recipe because that way you can blend without adding water. Otherwise, if you have a mortar, pound it in a mortar and you're fine. If you're using a blender as well, just use the pause button and go in 1, 2, 3, 4 times and you should be fine. You want it to have that rough texture so you can give us that texture when we're eating it. In fact, that's the joy of Ukpo Oka. The rough texture. Yeah, so once I achieve that, I'll take it out and we start cooking. Hallelujah, it is time to cook. So now I'm going to add the oil into the pan, and then once it heats up, I'll add the blended pepper and crayfish mix and then fry it until it is dry. Once the sauce starts to dry up, I go ahead and add the seasoning cube. I don't bother breaking seasoning cube inside food again because these things are so hard. I'm going to just leave it in there for it to melt, and it's easier. It saves me the stress. I just go in later when it's heated up and break it up. I also sprinkled in some salt, and look at the seasoning cube melted. No stress. I'm going to stir everything all up together now and take it off the heat. Next, pour the blended corn into a bowl. Add the fried pepper and the cornmeal and stir everything together. I added water gradually when I needed it, but in total, I did not use up to a cup of water. So less than a cup of water was all I needed for this recipe. So then I went in with a whisk and then just mixed everything properly. And in case you're wondering, I didn't use any fish, I didn't use nothing because I didn't want anything to take away from the taste of this Ukpo Oka. I like it just like this. This with that big crayfish I showed you is all I'm using for this recipe, and probably all you need. Yeah, so I'm going to just mix everything together and it is time to wrap. See, you people should not come for me for this kumkum I'm about to use to cook this moi moi. Because at the end of the day, something must kill a man. This thing cross plenty seas to get to me, so please just respect it, okay? You can also use banana leaves, moi moi leaves. The ones we find here are banana leaves, and you guys, that thing is hard, but I made it work. I'm going to wrap one for you there, just in case you don't like this kumkum one, okay? Thank you. So I grease the pan with olive oil spray. You can also use palm oil to grease it so it doesn't stick when it is done. Then I'm going to tap it like this, tap to get rid of any bubbles in it. You also don't want to fill it to the brim so it can have space to rise. Then I'm going to stick some of those big crayfish in the middle just like this. Cover it and put it in a pot to cook. I cook this for 1 hour on high heat. So back to business. I'm going to try to fold this thing. You guys, this thing was a hassle. I do better with the other one, the one we call moi moi leaf. These banana leaves, I don't know. So yeah, I made it work. I'm going to just, put the corn moi moi in there, and I'm going to steam this one for 1 hour as well. If you're going to be using banana leaves like this, remember to wilt it first before you use it. Otherwise, it's going to be scattering everywhere. You can't even hold it. I'll leave a link to how to wilt your banana leaves in the description box. I did it in my moi moi video. I'll leave that video in the description box so you can check it out. So look at our moi moi wrapped. So I'm going to just place it in the pot and let it steam for 1 hour. So after about 30 minutes, I went back to check. I topped up some water, so you want to always check and add water if you have to. And after about 1 hour, it was done. And how do you know it is done? You know it is done when you go in with a spoon and then try to pull the side out just like this, and it's not sticking. You go in with the back of the spoon on top, and there is no corn pudding following the spoon, then you know it is ready. Now I'm going to take it out and let it cool down before you try to bring it out from the can. Meanwhile, for the one in the leaves, sometimes I just have to go by, oh, this thing I've been cooking for 1 hour 30 minutes, it's not rock, it is done. Or I go in with a spoon and taste it. So this is it cooled down. Now I'm going to taste one for you to see. I'll open one for us to eat. Yeah, me and you. Yes, me and you. So I'll open this one, and you guys, this thing is pure bliss. Do you like corn moi moi? Have you ever tried it? Do you forbid it? Don't you eat it? Please let me know in the comment section. For me, this thing is a hit anytime, any day for me. Anytime my mom used to make it, that day was the best day. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. Please don't forget to subscribe, share, click the like button. Please subscribe to my channel. Okay, we're going to 100,000, so subscribe. Thank you all so much for watching. See you in my next video. Bye.